It is 7 p.m. Good evening. I am calling to order the Monday, July 20th, 2026 Nottingham Select Board meeting. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, so to start off, late last week, I received on Thursday a letter with the resignation from the Board of Selectmen from John Decker, and I will do a quick synopsis here. Chairman Sherlin and Select Board members, with deepest regrets in finally getting a diagnosis, I have come to the conclusion that the road back to a healthy me is going to be longer than hoped, and in order to keep the best of both me and the town in mind, it is time for me to tenure my resignation as a member of the Select Board. It has been a great honor for me to represent the town of Nottingham, and I wish I was able to continue in this capacity. Obviously, getting back to my paying job will need to take priority at this time. Hopefully someday I can get back to having the capability to help with town functions. And with that, we will be moving to discuss, and it was, when I spoke with John, I think there was a lot of coming to terms with everything he'd been told and just the realization of his path back to good health. I reached out and tried to determine what he would like for fulfilling his role. He had me reach out to see if there were prior board members that were available to potentially fulfill the remainder of his term, so more of a bumpless transfer. And with that, he had me start with Mr. Welch, but we're going to have a full discussion. So with that, I will move towards discussion about the appointment and filling of John Decker's role on the Select Board.
Do you want to start that now, or do you want to go through the normal procedures that we go through with minutes and manifests and all that stuff?
Figured I would rather go through the discussion and if potential bring on a member now, and then they can be part of everything for any voting and discussion we have later on.
Makes sense to me.
So at this time, I open it up for discussion on thoughts or opinions. So clarity, regardless of how long Mr. Decker's term was going to be, if he had just started, we can only appoint to fulfill his position through the end until the next election. So it would only be until the March election, regardless of how long was left in his term, but his term was set to expire in March anyway.
Well, John will be missed, that's for sure, and we wish him well. I also just want to mention that right now there is a fund being taken up to help he and the family, and by contacting Don Fernald, you can donate to that. I'm delighted if Steve Welch is tried and true, recently on the board, so up to speed on quite a bit, and I'd certainly welcome him back.
Is there any other discussion points we'd like to make?
As much as I have a fair and a highest due respect for Mr. Welch, to appoint somebody right now without seeing the other options we have for a possible other candidate that might come on board, somebody that might, I don't know if it's under Mr. Welch's intention to just fill the term and then be done at the end, or if there's somebody out there that hasn't been in the position that's willing to want to come on for the 9 months that possibly will be running next year.
Okay.
Just because of the low turnout that we had for applicants for this board, and knowing that there might be one or two positions open, well, we know one for, depending on what your decision is going to be.
Right.
Having somebody that might come in that might want to run would be giving them a 9 month or 7 month, whatever, a little bit of, they're in the game, a little bit.
Okay.
Now, I don't know what Mr. Welch's intentions is. If he was planning on coming on and maybe seeing re-election, that would sway my opinion maybe a little bit differently. But I just wanted to be just clear on that, where I found that when we did that with you,
Correct.
in the past. It worked out quite well. And then we did actually have, 3 or 4 different people at that one meeting that came, that said that they were interested in running, and we narrowed it down between you and Donna Danis, and then, obviously you got the nod for the board.
Okay.
That's just my thought process behind it, is that trying to get somebody that might be active, that wanted to continue to be active. So if we had at the next meeting, which I won't be here to attend to, but again, whoever gets on, gets on. It doesn't really, to me, I work with everybody, so that's fine. But I'm just saying, though, it might be something to see if there's, just for instead of us just selectively picking one person, when there could be 2 or 3 other applicants out there that might be interested in sitting on the board. There's nothing that we can't get somebody in tune of what's going on. You jumped in the first right here. It's like anybody else that starts. They're gonna learn how it goes, and you're gonna learn from the experience. Whether you have experience before or not, I don't think that should be a real criteria of what we're doing.
Yeah.
Since we already have 4 members that are here that are.
I think when I looked at it, or kind of thought and took into account what John was asking, is that this was kind of a forced resignation due to a health issue, and not, let's say, a personal decision to no longer represent, which has happened on other boards. And then just in keeping continuity, I kind of went with what, sometimes he may or may not have had an opinion, and this one he just said that he was thinking it would be in the best interest. So I was kind of going along with what, the wishes of his were with his position. So does anybody else want to stay, have any other discussions? We can make a vote to either appoint tonight, and then from there we can choose to do what we want to do, or we can choose to stay and open it up and leave it posted and see who shows up at the next meeting.
I see it both ways for sure. I mean, we got a guy with experience sitting right there, but John makes a good point. It is a good way to get someone that potentially could stay for the long haul, give them some experience before elections.
Oh, we have to ask Mr. Welch that too, as with anybody that comes up here.
Yep.
I would also like to note that in order for anybody to participate on the board, we would have to do a swearing-in ceremony, which I could do on the fly as a justice of the peace, but we would have to add another element into this meeting, which is doable.
I remember getting sworn in on the fly.
Yeah.
Very much so.
That really wasn't part of the concern I was having, but sure, okay.
Covered that bridge before.
Yeah.
Yes, Steve?
It seems to me when Ben Bartlett resigned, there was an election, wasn't there? Did I miss that?
That was for a state representative,
Oh, state representative, not for the board.
correct?
It was,
I misspoke. Okay.
Tyler Eaton resigned
that's- there you
his position early, and we,
So
the
there
board-
is a long tradition of this is kosher, in other words,
correct, it's actually by statute.
Yeah.
that the board appoints. Good. Thank you for clarifying that.
Just for the remainder of the time until the next election.
It's RSA 669:63 that gives the board the authority to appoint vacancy in their membership.
Can we come up with some?
So
What?
Come up with some?
I don't know if there's much I'm gonna listen to the board, and then we're either
It's
gonna.
really, up to the board, isn't it? So-
Okay, so do we have a motion one way or the other? And we'll just kind of have to see how the even vote rolls, since we have even numbers.
Eyes fail.
And again, Steve, he's sitting in the room.
Yeah, for a different reason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, could
We
we
want to talk out of turn.
interview?
I can see why the meetings go so long, John.
Aren't you happy? Aren't you excited to stay here till 10?
My intention is to fill out the term and, quite possibly stay on for another term. So, well, at least fill out his 1-year term.
See, that's better news to hear.
Yeah.
Right.
So Matt, you felt that John Decker wanted Steve Welch specifically?
He reached out, I asked him if he had anybody, and he kind of mentioned, he had worked well with Steve and Tim DeBrio, and
Okay.
we kind of knew that Tim was enjoying his retirement from public life. So we went to Steve, who had mentioned early in his, after the election, that he was available if need be to help the board. And
Thank you.
the board seems like we need help.
Well, what's going on in town with AI, whatever, I would go with experience over Newey.
So I am still waiting for a motion.
Did you ever have the possibility of sitting up here with us? I mean, you're at the meetings.
I'm at the meeting because I'm not on Facebook, so this is how I've already.
I don't know if you were actively thinking maybe
No, I
you
hung
wanted to
out
sit
like
next to
Steve,
me, but I
it
guess
certainly helps
that's not
when you
happening.
can. I don't wanna be here till 10.
So I'm gonna make a move.
Uh,
Go ahead, jump in.
Oh, I am going to make a motion that we accept Steve Welch's offer and we appoint him to the select board for this period of time.
We have a motion on the floor to appoint a individual to replace John Decker tonight, and that member would be Steve Welch.
I guess I'll second that.
And we have a we have a second. We have a motion and a second. I'll do a roll call vote.
Aye, Adam Ryan.
I, Charlotte Fife.
Matt Sherlin.
Hi, John Warren.
All right. Steve, we will see if. Do you want to try to go through that now? Do you have it?
Do your thing.
Got it pulled up. just
Steve,
in
would you like
case.
to get back into this?
Sure.
Back.
Do you want me to read it or do you want to read it?
He actually has to read it.
I can read that.
I think one of us has to read it to him.
Very visible.
You are you're on camera.
Okay, whereas there is a member vacancy on the select board of the town of Nottingham and the voters have confidence in your ability and integrity to perform the duties of said office, you are hereby appointed to the board of selectmen or select board, in said town, and upon your taking the oath of office and having this appointment and certificate of said oath of office recorded by the town clerk, you shall have the powers, perform the duties, and be subject to the liabilities of such office from today, July 20th, 2026, through March of 2026. 27. Repeat after me. I,
I,
Steve Welch,
Steve Welch,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I'll faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform all the duties
discharge and perform all the duties
incumbent on me
incumbent on me
as a member of the select board,
as a member of the select board,
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my abilities,
agreeable to the rules and regulations
agreeably to the rules and regulations
of the Constitution,
of the Constitution,
laws and rules
laws and rules
of the state of New Hampshire.
of the state of New Hampshire.
So help me God.
So help me God and keep me steadfast
Congratulations.
to perform the same.
Why, thank you.
Steve, we do have a spot here next to John, if he doesn't beat you up.
No, we're good.
I'll kick him under the table if he gets long-winded. We do want to get out of here before 11 o'clock.
That's definitely gonna happen. And I'm gonna quickly go through a few other things before we do the boring stuff like minutes and stuff. So Mr. Decker was a very active and vital member of this board, and his loss is gonna be missed, and hopefully he still, I've told him he can still buzz out to if he has thoughts and hears stuff and he wants to still let his opinion know, that I would still listen to it, so he can message me. But he was on, he was the police department rep, he was on the facilities committee, he was on the police department building committee, and he was on CIP. So we need to redelegate, and, he was the vice chair. So I need to reappoint a vice chair and then reassign his duties. If you're able to take on what he was doing, Steve, that's great, or if there's not, we can readjust.
I have a hard time making it to the recycling center due to my conflict of work schedule and everything.
All right,
I literally can't, I mean,
all right.
I don't ever get there.
So I do think you'd be able to handle being a police department rep?
Yeah, because I get here in the mornings and see them and stuff like that.
Great.
And their schedules are a lot easier for me to mix. Because I can get in at 8 o'clock in the morning and they're all here and stuff like that. And
So then I'm gonna actually potentially move to be the police department rep, because I find that I have never made it in contact with Courtney except for like inappropriate time on the rec department liaison. I know, Steve, you've been with rec before and you've been able to get more information than I have. I'm usually like, hey Courtney, I have a meeting. I haven't seen you. What's going on? So I feel like I can be the recycling center, not police department. You do the police department. I can do the recycling center because I go there frequently.
Well, again,
I'm there pretty much every weekend. I'm there, and I'm already talking to him anyway. So I will.
So, all right.
And Steve, are you all set with moving to rec?
Yep, what do you want me to, rec, what else?
There was CIP. Do we have any
I was
members?
gonna say, I don't mind doing CIP again. I did that already, so it wasn't too bad.
You know that you're doing half of everything, right?
At least I'm not doing all of everything,
I
right?
don't care.
What else are we doing?
He's already kind of jumped on the police department building committee, which should
Be
generally
wrapping
Yeah,
up.
but there's not much going on there anymore.
correct. So that's kind of, and then Charlotte is already on facilities, so we don't necessarily need 2 members, but I just wanted to make sure we covered everything.
Whatever you want me to do.
I believe that is, you can talk with Adam later on a side basis if there's anything, I mean, or just be available for fill-in if people can't make it to starting meetings, but he's on planning. And who's got budget this year?
Me.
Charlotte?
You're on budget? Okay.
Good.
That,
Was it 2 I don't want?
Don't I, yeah.
also, since it's up for grabs, there's no member on the board that is liaison to the master plan committee right now.
That is correct. We do not have I believe Tim DeBrio was still kind of going on as a member of the public. We don't have an official member of the board. Do we?
When does the master plan meet?
On, the next meeting will be on August 17th at 6:30.
I can do it.
Sure. I
I
mean,
was on the master plan when we wrote it 12:50 or.
I was gonna say, you
Years ago.
would know the beginning and end.
Huh?
Nothing.
It needs to be updated. It wasn't screwed up.
Okay.
Updated.
I'm sorry, who's the PT rep again?
Gonna be the-
John is, okay, sorry.
So I have Adam is taking over CIP, Matt is taking the recycling center, John Moran is taking over the police department, Steve Welch will take the rec department, and John is also going to do the master plan subcommittee.
Correct.
Any others?
I would like to make a motion. For John Decker, not John Decker, excuse me, for John Moran to be the vice chair.
Oh, I'll second that. Do you
Hand
want it?
Probably doesn't, but he has a ton of experience, most of everything that I've learned so far on the board, I had received from him for my years, and
Welcome back, John.
yeah. And he drives a good meeting too sometimes. So today I feel like we're a little disjointed. Anyway, we have a motion and a second for John Moran to be the vice chair. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any against? All right. Again, we wish the Decker family well.
Vice chair?
I'm sorry?
Did you want to be vice chair?
Yes.
Do you?
Let her be vice
Yeah,
chair.
man,
Yeah, because I want to appoint her as chair next year, so. That sounds good to me. Take me, scratch that.
But I'm, no, but
How
I'm
do I,
willing to, no, if, I think Matt's more comfortable.
Charlotte, I am fine with either.
I'll still be standing right, I'll
I
be right
respect
here
you,
with
you
you.
know.
I'll be
I-
right here
You
with you.
promise to?
I'll be
All
right with you during the whole meeting, so I'd rather see you be vice chair and get your feet wet on doing that.
Make a fool
Motion
of
to
myself.
rescind.
Absolutely.
Start over.
All right.
With the experience, okay.
So, John has withdrawn his position. So we have an opening. Charlotte?
I nominate Charlotte to be vice chair.
And I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second for Charlotte Fife to be the vice chair of the select board committee. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There we go.
There we go.
Congratulations.
Well, thanks a lot.
Yeah. No one way or the other. Everybody here is all very
Work
good.
together, yeah.
So now that we've killed 20 minutes, let's,
Point of order real quick. Are you going to continue on with a co-chair, or are you gonna go back to chairman versus chairman and vice chair?
What was the point of that?
It was just kind of like a dual role, because with Matt's schedule, it was more of like a seamless transition. You have the same person doing the same roles.
Yeah.
It's like a position with a complex, like just,
I prefer we stick to the traditional.
Okay.
That's just my opinion, just throwing it out there.
I would agree.
yeah.
Again, I'm the oddball. I like co-chair.
I'm just gonna ask if we can approve some manifests. We'll just hammer forth now.
Okay, let's go.
What's that thing about vice chair? I didn't understand that.
I believe we had technically, so the school board uses a co-chair position, and we had kind of had a co-chair, even though I've been sitting almost exclusively as the chair, with John kind of filling in in my absence, like a vice chair. We don't quite.
To the school committee?
No, it's just a way that you either have a chairman and a vice chair, or you have co-chairs where it's like, I don't really know how.
So we're going back to
Traditional.
chair and
So
vice
who's
chair.
the chair and who's the vice chair?
Chairman.
We just do chair and
Vice
time
chairman.
and chair.
Chair
and
person.
Sometimes chair.
And so is that the same thing as vice president?
I don't know. I hope I don't get
Sure.
assassinated.
Let's move on to the manifests.
Right,
Okay.
Enough chit chat.
moving along.
let's go.
All right.
I'll move to accept the accounts payable manifest of 7/20/2026.
I'll second.
You have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
I'll move to accept the payroll manifest of 7/21/26.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Steve Welch, abstain.
I'll move to accept the public minutes of 7/6/2026
I'll
And-
second. Oh, sorry.
and
go
the-
ahead, you can do
and the
both.
non-public minutes of 7/6/2026.
Now I'll second.
Thanks.
We have a motion and a second on both. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Steve Welch, abstain.
All right. Board of Selectmen reports of the assigned boards, committees, and departments. Start down with Mr. Ryan.
All right, so planning board, I don't have too much on that. I'm not being a very good volunteer, but highway department updates, Ledge Farm Road preparation. Highway crews are currently preparing Ledge Farm Road for paving. Work includes ditch clearing, roadside debris removal, and addressing culvert issues. 3 culverts need to be raised and 1 replaced, but the work is on hold until required culvert maintenance training is completed on August 19th. The project is also awaiting utility work from Eversource, including pole relocation and tree trimming. Road improvement equipment. The department has rented an excavator equipped with a hammer attached to remove ledge along Ledge Farm Road. The equipment will be also used on other dirt roads to improve grading conditions. The library project, crews have just completed trenching for the conduit installation at the library and expect to finish cleanup work tomorrow. Vehicle fleet review. The department is evaluating 2 vehicles currently out of service. The Mack 10-wheeler may not be cost effective, again, to repair, and the 1-ton truck involved in the accident is awaiting insurance determination after damage was found to the oil filter housing and causing oil leaks and lubrication issues. Steve did want me to ask, what we're gonna do about the salter / plow truck, seeing that winter is approaching. He's short a truck to maintain our roads in the winter. So I told him I'd ask and put that out there for this, hopefully we can discuss it. And that's about it. That's all I got for highway department as of now.
Which 10-wheeler is this? The
It's
newest
the
one?
It's not, it's the,
We had 3 10-wheelers or 2 10-wheelers? I think we had 3.
3 and a 6-wheeler.
Right.
So I think it's the older 10-wheeler. I wanna say it's 2014.
Okay.
I did look into the replacement program that Katrin Casper, our Seacoast Energy rep, had talked about. Unfortunately, their vehicle replacement only covers model year 2009 and older. So we would have to trade in a piece of equipment that's a 2009 or older. So it just doesn't meet the emissions requirement to get that 80% match, which would have been really nice.
Yeah.
I believe the next vehicle in the queue for replacement was the F-550 in 28. So we're still a ways out, but it does have injector issues. And once they open up that can of worms, we could be chasing a $20,000 to $25,000 repair bill.
Right, but a new truck's like $400,000.
Yes.
So
Absolutely. So
Wow.
25 sounds pretty good to me, not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
I think the last one was like 280-ish.
Where is the truck currently? Is it HCR or
It is.
HCR
Allen's?
is saying yes.
Okay.
That's a bummer.
And it's just stuck, like, in terms of like, we're determining if we need to
He wants to know is he shopping for trucks? Is he tell him to fix a truck? He wants to know what we're doing, because he would like to have the truck for winter maintenance, obviously.
I mean, I believe that this, financially, I don't think we can afford to try to buy a new truck.
No,
We're
there
not,
wasn't
even-
enough money.
our capital reserve,
Yeah.
we're not even close to it. And we don't have the block funds and everything we have. We are nowhere near being able to replace a 10-wheeler,
Yeah.
let alone a 6-wheeler or an F-350. So I would see what we can do. The repairs are the best thing we can do. I mean, I think the truck is still pretty valuable, and maybe we need to look at, when we come to budget season, if we think we're having issues there, how we're gonna allocate to our capital reserve funds, but a $25,000 bill is that's what we can handle, even if it was 30 or 40. But at some point, you can just be able to put a new motor in it.
Yeah, let's say whatever we need to do to get the thing on the road. You know,
Yeah.
25 grand is reasonable compared to 400.
Because when we were looking at that container truck, the Mack truck, I think it was still very expensive. It wasn't even a full stainless dump body and everything like that. So
And I'll probably increase our, I mean, obviously we gotta fix it before we even trade it in, or else it has no value if it's not running. So
Yep.
it would behoove us to trade it in, because we'll get more than 25,000 in trade if it's running,
most likely,
I would hope.
do we need to vote on that as a decision to work on it, or?
No, I think probably what we need to do is just pull together some firm estimates for the repair and go from there.
Okay. So,
All right, fire department I'm sorry, are you done?
Nope, all done.
Sorry. Fire department liaison, the fire department will be sending a monthly report to the select board from here on in. They provided me with one in June. It's a very interesting and helpful format. We'll be sharing that. Recently, the fire department got trained to assist paramedics in rapid sequence intubation. It's an advanced life-saving technique. They had a hose loads and deployment training, and Lieutenant Dolan and firefighter Nesbitt volunteered their time to teach teens participating in the Emergency Services Explorer Training Academy. And that introduces young people to immersive firefighting and EMS work in the hopes that they will go on to make that their profession. I've been the temporary liaison to the police department. The new cruiser will be picked up on Friday and sent to Ossipee for outfitting with equipment, and it will soon be in service to the community. There have been a lot of directed patrols and saturation of areas affected by the Route 152 road closure. They've been keeping local traffic safe and as minimally inconvenienced as possible. The building department committee, the police department building committee met last Thursday. They reviewed 3 conceptual designs for the addition to the fire station. Their next meeting will be on August 6th, and the firm will present the edited design chosen. New officer Mary Chiquette has completed her field officer training, and she's at full steam working. Conditional employment has been offered to an officer who is already certified to fill an unfilled position, and a background check is currently taking place. National Night Out is on August 4th. It will feature fireworks display, thanks to the Celebrate Nottingham Committee. And finally, Coffee with a Cop is taking place this Thursday, July 23rd, from 9 to 10 a.m. in the police station, and it's an opportunity to get a look at the police station and see why it needs to be moved and updated. I'm on the Town Facilities Assessment and Advisory Committee. We met July 8th to review our plans for the old Grange Hall. We'll soon be moving on to start assessing the town offices, and we hope to include town staff, the building inspector, and the safety committee in discussions. Mini splits are to be installed in the old town hall prior to the August 10th, when Nottingham Parks and Recreation activities are scheduled to take place there. And parents, it will be cool and comfortable for your kids. The next meeting of the Town Facilities Assessment and Advisory Committee will take place here, right across the hall, on Wednesday, August 5th at 5:30.
very extensive. This is a great report.
Isn't that terrific? Sorry, it's hard to read on the print I made, but I think it's
Yeah.
engaging, it's informative, I didn't get you one, sorry, I'll send you one. I'm sorry, Steve.
All right, I was about to jump in, but we're at 7:30, so we have our public hearing for the fees update. Is it Do I have a paperwork driving this right here? And 7:30. All right. Notice of a public hearing. The Board of Selectmen will, or the Select Board, excuse me, will hold a public hearing in accordance with RSA 41:9-A on Monday, July 20th, 2026, 7:30 PM at the town offices in the meeting room. Public hearing will be to amend fees for the disposal of certain items at the recycling center and to amend various building permit fees. The list of proposed fees is as follows. I don't have what they have gone up. Is this the current fee schedule back
Yes.
here? Okay. So proposed disposal fees, so passenger tires would be an increase from $5 to $10. Truck trailer tires over 19 inches is proposed to be increased from $15 to $20. Household furniture was going to be increased from $20 to $25. The building debris, and this is kind of getting into different size truckloads, but basically building debris less than an 8-foot bed is going to be increased from $25 to $35. Building debris for an 8-foot bed and greater would be increased from $40 to $60. The mattresses, we are looking to increase the costs on those. There's a significant cost, but the crib and twin is going to stay at $15, but full size and greater would go from $20 to $30. And then propane tanks, the disposal fee would go from $5 up to $10. And sorry, for the proposed permit fees, the proposed permit fees would be, the solar permit fee would go to $75. Renovations would move to be the same as new, which would be 30 cents per square foot in a renovation. And for the fence permit, it would be a $25 flat rate fee for that. The one little thing that I would maybe want to change to talk about is the, instead of just truck trailer, we should probably have it / van when dealing with building debris, or get rid of the word, because there are several large commercial vans that will show up from contractors. And I mean, it really isn't that surprising what they could fit into a van, but I think that we just want to give the signage to be appropriate to give our staff what they need. So, we are now in a public hearing.
How would you delineate that between the two? I mean,
Uh,
if the rear access to a van is less than 8 feet, then it would fall under the smaller fee. And then if it's an extended or longer,
Might be better to go to a square footage type of fee versus.
it's kind of tough. The trucks come in, the vans come in, and they might be stacked high. Some, if they're a carpet installer, kind of falls in the gray space of dealing with carpet anyway, but it's long materials. I think there's some show up and they've renovated a kitchen, so there's like a vanity tucked in there, and then there's some 2x4s and some other stuff, and then they throw it out. I think it's still up to the discretion of the employees that are working there when they're enforcing it, and there's some polite negotiation of like, it might be an 8-foot bed, but it's below the rails, or it's a 6-foot bed and it's mounted super high. Like, I think they already discuss with people like what's going on. I just want to make sure we have the word van in there to cover that, because it's been contention where it's like, this isn't a truck
Been an issue.
and it isn't a trailer. This is an SUV or anything like that. We just need to, what's that?
I don't know how you could word it, but SUVs are made on a truck frame.
To call it a load, small load versus large load, regardless of what vehicle you bring it in, it'd be a load. And that would cover everything.
That could work, but that also leaves a lot of discretion, but I think that is kind of an open discretion anyway, to just do load size. I don't know. We can open it up for if anybody else has any discussion they would like to on the fees, but I just feel that we're gonna give them a little bit better discretion to be able to enforce this, for just having it be, this sign here says, truck and or trailer, and then new age, a lot of people have those like big Sprinter vans or big E-Series vans, and Sprinter vans are humongous. I've seen a few people offload those, so.
The Amazon trucks. They're huge.
Yeah, they're monsters.
Or maybe just adding in like, or equivalent. Something.
We're never gonna
equivalent
get
size.
everything down to a perfect.
Yeah, that's what, I mean,
so-
the word of load might be good too, just like a certain size, you know, I don't know, but that's, everything is open to discretion. But if there's anybody else that wants to discuss the fee portion of why they are for or against the fees that we've proposed,
Now is the time.
now is the time.
Just go really quick.
Sure.
Robin Marshall, 189 Old Turnpike Road. I just have a question with the furniture.
Sure.
Because furniture is furniture. It could be a bureau, it could be a bed, it could be real small or real big. So when you say household furniture and you're just bringing maybe a step stool and you're throwing it in, like, are they gonna charge? 'Cause
It's, for the furniture, it
very
is,
vague.
it is couches, love seats, recliner, chairs, et cetera.
It's gonna
So
be-
generally, fabric.
As long as there's a description and not just household
Upholstered,
furniture.
Thank you.
Someone,
A lot of the dressers and stuff, they tend to get smushed with the backhoe and then they just become building debris or bulky. So those
as
get
long as
crushed
there's a
up.
description there. It just said household furniture. I thought that was pretty vague.
Yep.
And then what if it's like a nice shape and I know people leave it there by the picnic table? Is that okay? They're not gonna get charged if it's a nice. So that's just some questions I thought.
That's one thing. People drop stuff off and they say it works, and it's on the picnic table and they say, so they don't have to, can't be charged for it. But they're dropping all stuff off.
That should not fly at all. If you wanna be nice and drop it off, you can still pay for dropping it off, even though you think it's some use. If you wanna be nice, have a yard sale and sell it on your own property.
Sure.
And again, it's not to be, but you have to draw a line somewhere on this to say,
Or just
Who's
if
paying,
you
who's
could-
not
if you're
paying?
gonna Write something up, if you could do that, because people say, it works.
then
Oh, I'm not paying. And, you know, there isn't.
We shouldn't allow electronics to be on the
Right.
picnic table. Personal feeling.
I agree.
They say, well, it works.
Why are you getting rid of it?
Put it on the side of the road for free. Let people do that.
I'll just say if you put something in.
that might be a signage that you just, that's put out there that says, hey, listen.
Right, you're gonna print up
TVs,
something.
microwaves.
And stuff.
Not allowed.
Well, they'll tell you, people used to have a yard sale. One woman was bringing stuff down, putting it on Facebook, that they can pick it up here.
That's good. Someone will come and get it.
But you have 50 people come down to the front, go arguing, where is it?
It's a closed swap shop.
Right.
And can you make sure?
Right,
that
we're not supposed to have a
updates
swap shop
Get on the website.
Yeah, the signage would be updated there. It's posted by the electronics dumpster. There's a sign there, there's a sign inside. They've been putting signs up in between the dumpsters as well. And they've been visible out there
I
as
meant
best they can.
The paper, like they were updated at the dump, but you guys didn't have them off the website. So
Right.
they were updated at the dump. They did great, but the town website, make sure the town website has the new fees to match.
Sure.
The new fees, that's all.
Well, hopefully after this public hearing, what we talk about tonight does get updated fairly quickly so that it matches the,
Yeah, that would be great.
And again, just, things are a lot less recyclable in the world right now, and things cost a lot more to dispose of, and these are just ways, they're minimal incurred cost to individuals dumping it off, but it reduced cost to the overall tax burden for the town in terms of disposal fees. Do we have anything else for the proposed disposal fees, dump only right now? Anything else on that?
Nope.
All right, the proposed permit fees, planning board fees, the solar fee, renovation fee, fence fee. And these were brought up by the building inspector, just ways to improve, line up with different towns. We do different ways where we do inexpensive for the entire square footage, where other towns might have it broken down more by what you're renovating and different fees, so. Okay, so we think we got the furniture stuff covered, and we will potentially,
On the, where'd you wanna add van?
on this sign here,
On
we
that
just need
sign,
to
okay.
figure out
Yep.
how we're going to display that appropriately. If it's gonna be truck trailer, or if it's going to be vehicle or load less than 8 feet. I mean,
So truck trailer slash van, less than 8 feet, truck trailer slash van, 8 feet or greater.
correct. And I mean,
Just add van.
and do we need to have some sort of silly word at the end, Ellen, that's just like,
Just put construction vehicle.
well, because it's not construction, right? Homeowner brings in a ton of stuff, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you get too hard and specific, people will they try to find their way out of the fees.
And we
So-
don't wanna make it any more difficult than it already is for the people working at the dump to try to collect money, that's.
You have someone
The
here, could you
recycling
wanna
center.
ask him, like, what he thinks is his feeling on it, cause he deals with it every day, they're open, so.
Right, but I mean, he agreed on the van portion, there's definitely,
Just, a lot of people do come with SUVs and they'll have like a trailer load in their SUV,
SUV,
saying it's not a truck,
yeah.
so, you know. So, some people are just trying to, they go, they come in a truck, they go, well, if I go and bring it in my SUV, do I have to pay?
And you almost feel like saying, you know what, if you wanna go home and unload that to save the $25, you go right ahead. And you put
Well,
the
it's
work
like
and
you're
effort
saying,
into
it's
it.
more expensive, if you go down to Gulf or whatever it's called now, you're gonna spend $350, $400 to get rid of that stuff.
Other
I mean-
towns that don't use a scale do it by a cubic yard, but that's, again, it's a calculation that
Yeah.
they're gonna have to do, it's gonna.
Then they would have to be there and trying to roughly measure with tape measures and stuff and
Oh, I
getting
think-
near debris
I
and.
don't think you'd have to do that. I think if you did square footage or cubic yards, use your own common sense, and this is,
My whole
and most people aren't gonna argue with you.
Again,
You'd be
but we wanna
surprised.
limit, even when you said most people aren't, I would love to see that, you know,
It would be more clear than what we got now.
if 95% of the people came in and just paid, and you only had that small margin of 5, I think that'd be great. I think asking the guys down there to go even above and beyond and start even making it more complex for where they're just trying to collect
Just do
the
it
money
for
and
a
move their
load.
job, just
Do
to,
it for a load, somebody comes in with a little bit, we generally just say,
right, it,
just give me $5.
again, right,
Yeah.
anything's better than nothing. You know, but there is a set number of what we're expecting.
Right.
You know, but if somebody comes in and says, no, I mean, again, I'm not asking you this, but if you have a $20 bill and the ATM machines or the withdrawal machine's not working, take the $20 bill instead of the 25 and call it a day.
That's what I'm saying. If you did square footage or square yard, it's still up to their discretion. You know, give me $5, cause you ain't got shit there, but. In the same boat.
I love how this conversation's going over on this side of the table.
Would it just, could we make it, like, instead of trying to hard partition, I don't wanna get into weird negotiating, I was just trying to think something like fees variable based on size of load, not to exceed $40 or something like that, I don't know.
I mean, again, I'm comfortable with the way we're doing it right now and just letting the guys down there say, hey, listen.
Yeah, it's fine.
Fine, you don't go to 3 ones. Give me
Let's,
$30.
So
Instead of
then,
40 and just. we'll
let's just do it
play
truck
it that
trailer
way.
and at least add the word van.
Yes,
Move on.
yes.
And then
Yep.
it's
We
still
spend
up to
enough time.
discretion and we've given them the kind of flexibility to, we're just
Yeah.
trying to recoup the costs for.
Yep.
And
The other
again,
stuff is hard, kind of cut and dry. Mattress, that's square, truck dryers, like those are easy to do, but the bulky load stuff comes in weird. And then sometimes we're like, well, this is construction here and
Yeah,
this is
something
this is
else
going
here.
over to metal here and it's tough.
And these fees here are good for the community. You know, I mean, we're using that money and it's going back into our town to support these things, so. It's not like it's something, you know, malicious that we're trying to do to scrape more money from people.
So we're agreed, we're just gonna add van and.
Yep.
Does that
Okay.
sound,
Good with that?
then leave it to your discretion?
Vehicle,
I mean, what?
either that or just change it to vehicle, regardless, like, whether it's a truck, a van, an SUV, just change it to vehicle.
Or just have it say vehicle/load, because it could depend on, they're gonna get creative, just, vehicle/load less than 8 feet or vehicle/load greater than? Is that easier for you?
Yeah, it's just, like you said,
Start hauling it in with horse and
people
buggy.
come in and it's 3 inches down from the top of their truck bed, and they say it's not a full load.
Yep,
So
Sorry to say, I know
it
some
comes
of those
down, I mean,
change the wording a bit, but
yeah, vehicle/load. Because then that way it covers whatever method that it shows up in.
If it becomes an issue, we can deal with it at a later date. I think
Sure.
we've had enough discussion.
Well, we officially open this up to the public.
I thought we did. I asked if anybody had any
Yeah.
We
comments.
did ask them.
Okay, just making sure that we're,
Do the 5 people in attendance feel that you've had ample opportunity to discuss your public opinion on this?
and,
Thank
and do we all understand what the wording will be? We're going from vehicle to load? Vehicle load? instead of
Vehicle/load. Does that sound good to everybody?
It sounds good to
Great.
me, yeah, yeah.
It's
Vehicle
still up to
slash
us.
load, okay.
Well, what do you put before it?
Oh
A
my
big
goodness.
load, a small load?
We're not gonna get, it's already gone too far.
Vehicle load less than 8 feet, vehicle load 8 feet or greater.
Okay, so we need to take a motion to accept the fee schedule that has been proposed with the slight amendment on the words to try to encompass everything that is brought to the dump. So we need a motion.
I'll move that we amend the fees for the disposal of certain items at the recycling center with wording amended as agreed upon.
And,
Effective when?
because you also have the planning board stuff on there.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I totally forgot about them. As well as the proposed permit fees as written.
Do we have an effective that you wanna throw in there with that?
I'm sorry?
Effective when thrown in there at all?
Once we make this motion, it's effective now.
Okay.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
7:47, we're closing the public hearing. All right, back to assigned boards, committees, departments. So I'm, was the chair to the rec department, but I was doing a horrible job at that. So I didn't really see it in your write-up, Ellen. That's a different one, I believe. But so the rec department has received their AARP community grant for $15,000. And the grant is gonna be used towards pickleball courts, but will work coinciding with a different grant that they are hopefully trying to get as they move forward into the spring. And they're gonna be updating the website, excuse me, to update those projects and future plans. And they were very specific. I think there's another one out there that they're looking for tennis courts and pickleball court. Ones cannot coincide. They have to be very separate, and there's fence requirements, and there's different things, and the tennis world doesn't want to be confused with the pickleball world, and the pickleball world does not want to be confused with the tennis world. So there might be different courts up there as we kind of look to the parking lot to the right and move, and they have some other stuff. That's at Marston, correct?
And what were those three initials you gave, what were they?
AARP.
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 And that is pretty much that. The summer camp has kicked off. They have a very busy summer ahead of them. I believe she said next week they have 96 kids. They have 18 counselors. It's a very large group. Very well funded or attended and staffed, so.
And is there a time limit on that fund, AARP? Do they have to use it by a certain amount of time?
I do not know that. I mean, like, I don't think it's the end of this calendar year, I don't think, but the funds were all encompassing, and originally they were trying to build a large rectangular paved area, and then they were gonna try to have it be like a basketball court, because pickleball length is about as wide as basketball, so you could have it be multi-use, but then they were like, very much, again, we're awarding this grant, but we want it to be specifically for this. So if we wanna do the next part, we might have to do that separately.
Okay.
Or at a different time, but she's still. The ARP is just trying to fund projects to help, obviously,
Retired people.
retired people, certain age groups to help. We have a lot of other grants that have come out that have helped build playground structures and other younger people, so we're just trying to vary it as much as we can, and
Old folk power.
there you go. All right, that's all I got for rec right now. John?
Well, I already told you, I don't make it to the recycling center, so I have nothing to add to it.
Well, when I was there, they were doing great. Nothing really much to add. They're, I mean, doing what they can. I don't think there's any equipment issues right now, correct? Everything running at the dump?
We have a
I think-
lot of baled cardboard and plastic. We've been working with New Hampshire Recycles for at least 3 weeks now to get rid of the baled plastics, and it's not a matter of our past conditions where we were baling incorrectly in additional plastic bags. It's not that, it's just a matter that the plastics market is depleted. They're very picky and choosy about what they want, and it's been difficult to try to sell that to vendors. So we're still actively working on that. In the meantime, their trailer's full, they're stockpiling in the garage, and their cardboard is also ready to go out, but that will go relatively easy. There is still a market for cardboard, so. hopefully that
Corrugated
will-
cardboard
Correct.
only. The other stuff goes on the dumpster side and it is considered paper,
And cereal boxes go into the paper container.
and we pay to get rid of that at a reduced cost in trash, I believe.
It's minimal. I mean, at one point, I think we used to get a recycling revenue off of it, but we've been paying on it for at least 3 years now.
Does it make sense to throw it in the dumpster and not the compactor?
No. Because the cost for the MSW is more. So yes, it is reduced.
Reduced costs, just minus the trucking fee. Okay,
Trucking fees is what kills us.
that's what we were trying to work on. That's all I got for recycling center.
That's good, there you go.
All right, town administrator report.
After our last meeting, we had decided to proceed forward with the special election for the voting of the temporary moratorium on September 8th alongside the state primary. I did verify with New Hampshire Municipal Association because there's actually a statute that says that you cannot hold any special town meetings in conjunction with the biennial election. So there was a question as to whether or not the state primary actually is, and they verified that it is not. If we were talking about the general election in November, we absolutely could not hold it then. So just to get the word out there to the public, September 8th will be the voting session for both the state primary and that one ballot question as to whether or not people are in favor of the temporary moratorium that's been proposed by the planning board, for which the public hearing has already been held. So information will be circulated on that very soon. We'll start getting the announcements up on the website with the official question once we have it run by legal. And then the election team is fine-tuning the details on how to make everything work. So, as I reported at the last meeting, Tracy Black, our tax collector, officially resigned from her position on July 6th. Plodzik and Sanderson, the town's auditors, completed the recommittal audit, which is required before a new tax collector can accept any new tax payments. So that process was completed last week, and you do have a recommittal warrant in your signature file to vote on tonight. As Adam reported, the construction on the Route 152 bridge over North River is well underway. The crews are currently working 12-hour days, 7 days a week to keep the project moving. From the outset, the town has been clear that the local roads are not to be used as a detour route. These roads are reserved for our local traffic, and the highway department has done an excellent job preparing them for the increased local travel resulting from the bridge closure. Roads have also been posted as no through trucking. 2 weeks ago, New Hampshire DOT reached out. We actually had a gentleman here requesting permission to detour the traffic onto the local roads. They were kind of at a standstill where people pass by all of the signage that is coming in from Route 4 to Route 125 and along 156. And they're getting to the bridge closure and saying, okay, what do I do now? So they were actually looking for my permission to say, oh yeah, go ahead, use Freeman Hall, use Priest Road. And I said, I'm sorry, I can't do that. There had been multiple public hearings leading up to this bridge closure where it was very adamantly discussed that local roads were not to be used. And there was hope that the bridge would be a single lane closure versus the full lane closure, but there was never any incentive offered by the state to prep the local roads for the additional traffic. So I said no, I stood my ground on it, and they just responded that any traffic would instead be directed back to the official detour routes that have been put in place utilizing their state highways. So that's where things were left.
And I think we've made it past the initial hiccup. It seems like things have gotten a little bit better. The bigger trucks I haven't seen as much, but maybe I'm not hearing everything, but.
I'm sure the police department can report otherwise on that, but
Okay.
I don't have those statistics. The planning board has been awarded another 14,000 grant through the Piscataqua Region Environmental Planning Assessment. It's the PREPA, in short, grant program. And that money is going to be used to help advance the implementation of recommendations that were identified in the town's natural resource master plan chapter that they worked on last year. So that's always good news, moving forward with master plan updates that are long overdue. And just for informational purposes, there is a planned 15-acre timber harvest within Pawtucket State Park, and that will take place the bidding will take place in the spring of 2027.
So.
It's a planned timber harvest of 15 acres in the state park.
Oh, okay.
So there is a map showing the affected area that's posted in the town office for anybody that's interested. I'll make sure we've got copies put up on the website as well. And for your laundry list, you have action items to vote on tonight whenever you're ready to go through those.
Okay. So we can look at those now. So we've already finished the recommittal warrant. So now we just need to sign the motion to approve. Make sure the words here.
They're tucked in the pocket there.
Recommittal. Essentially, this allows so first we would have to appoint her and then do the recommittal, because it's basically the recommittal warrant is assigned to her.
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna start with action item 2. So Alyssa Rowe has been kind of filling in as the deputy tax collector. Came on board and learned from Tracy. Tracy has resigned from her position, so we are looking for a motion to appoint Alyssa Rowe from deputy tax collector to the tax collector position until the March 2027 election.
I move that we approve Alyssa Rose moving from deputy tax collector to tax collector until the March elections of 2027.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
And now that Alyssa Rowe is the tax collector for the town of Nottingham, looking for a motion to sign the recommittal warrant for property taxes, which gets directed to her, which allows her to collect said property taxes.
I move that we accept the tax collector's recommittal and sign.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to sign the recommittal warrant for property taxes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so then we're gonna move on to
Dogs.
who let the dogs out. All right, we have it signed. Do we need to motion to sign? Or?
Yes.
Okay. So we have the warrant for unlicensed dogs, and basically this, people have been notified, and now they will be. Here we go. Pursuant to New Hampshire RSA 466:14 entitled Warrants Proceedings, you are hereby directed to proceed with the issuance of a civil forfeiture for each unlicensed dog included in this warrant. Any unlicensed dogs may be seized by local law enforcement for holding in Nottingham holding facility for a period of 7 days, after which time full title to the dog shall pass to the facility unless the dog owner has, before the expiration of the period, caused the dog to be licensed. Pursuant to New Hampshire RSA 466:16 entitled Returns, this warrant must be returned on or before August 31st. State the number of owners who receive paid civil forfeiture, the number of dogs in Nottingham that have been seized and held the provisions of RSA 416:14, the number of owners who have received summons to a district and municipal court for failure to pay the civil forfeiture pursuant to RSA 466:13, or to license the dog pursuant to 466:1. Yeah. standard proceeding that, basically we have to do by state law.
When's it effective by today or?
Uh,
As soon as it's signed.
It was,
July 10th.
yes, I was gonna say it was July 9th or 10th, I think it needed to
Oh,
be.
so it's
10th on
actually
here
July
is
5th.
where it's signed by at least 3 members. So looking for a motion to sign and issue the warrant for unlicensed dogs.
Well, I did look, I asked, 'cause I was conflicted with that too, there's not much you can do about it, but along with licensing, it does require the owners to prove vaccination, it's almost a protection for the dog as well. Am I correct on that?
Correct. To get licensed, to be able to register and license them, they have to be rabies and distemper, maybe, I'm not sure. They have to be vaccinated.
Alright, good. So, you want me to make a motion to, what is it, to approve and sign, or to sign?
Sign and issue the warrant.
Alright, I'd like to make a motion to sign and issue the warrant, for civil forfeiture of unlicensed dogs pursuant, is there a thing I have to say, pursuant?
Nope, that's good enough.
Second.
We're good.
Yeah, we'll leave it.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Typically, a lot of these warrants go out and they're pretty much immediately corrected, so. Okay, we have a motion to withdraw 10,000 from the Celebrate Nottingham Fund for the fireworks display for Nottingham's National Night Out. And Mr. Welch, I believe your original intention of showing up tonight was to represent that.
Absolutely.
And if you'd like to discuss it.
So, got a phone call from, Chief Woodman, requesting that maybe we do some fireworks out here again. I thought probably was a good idea. We don't do a lot, or haven't done a lot so far to celebrate our nation's 250th anniversary. We did read the Declaration of Independence up to the square. It was very well attended. Thank you for the public for showing up for that. Again, I think this would be a great event. We usually get a lot of people coming out for that event, so I'd like to see us throw up some fireworks in the sky, and we have the money in the account, and let's
I make a motion to withdraw the $10,000 from the Celebrate Nottingham Fund for the fireworks display on National Night Out on August 4th.
I second that.
thank you.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I make a motion that we signed the contract with Pyrotechnics for the fireworks display on August 4th.
I'll second. Second, there you go.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Wow, you're
Yep.
cranking, man.
Wow,
Love it.
it's fast.
Alright, can, you wanna handle the next one, Ellen, or do we wanna, when do we handle that?
We're not gonna do anything about that.
Alright,
That's gonna go back to ZBA, correct?
Is that what you would like to see it do?
We have no authorization as a
No, you
town to
don't.
do anything. It's a state issue. It's not with us, so
Correct.
to whatever what the board signs tonight doesn't have no binding effect to anything about it, so ship it to ZBA.
Can I
If they go back to the fireworks, do you have an idea what time that will be, obviously?
Dusk.
Dusk.
probably dark time, yep.
They the same as the ones that did it last time?
Yes.
They were really good.
Talking to my kids.
We'll tell my kids.
Dark time.
My grandkids, it's dark
Can you see the top of the trees? Yep, we're not lighting off fireworks yet.
time.
I would say 9 o'clock. probably.
Are you getting bitten by mosquitoes? Here's when it comes.
Alright, so you're saying there's nothing for us to,
On that complaint? No, there
Oh.
isn't anything for us to.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, right, that has to be
We need
moved
to, I
on.
think we need to provide a response back to the resident that that would be the course of action, the next course of action.
am I missing something?
There was a complaint from a resident about a well being placed too close in proximity to their existing well.
Oh,
So it's impacting, but the town does not have a permitting process. We don't know when a well is to be drilled. The well installer is subject to state regulations.
yeah.
Anything subsurface is managed through New Hampshire DES.
So we have no
So I,
say,
right.
so
What's being
go on to
moved?
ZBA, right? See if they can get it, or does it even go to ZBA?
Well, I think the thing is you have to go to ZBA denies or whatever the cause fine is, and then you can actually go to legal action.
But it's not us that decides
But
at
again,
this
it's,
point, yeah.
because in our zoning ordinances, there doesn't say
It's
for
not
well
specific,
placement, we
right?
have for setbacks for septic systems,
But not for well.
but not for wells. Cause wells aren't usually deemed harmful to your neighbor, right, unless in a situation, so it's really not something that normally impacts. It's more for your septic impacting somebody's well that's next to the property.
And with this, the second part, Dale was talking about changing the wording, removing well
So
from the
there's
structure
question-
definition.
There's a definition in the back of the zoning ordinance that actually defines a well or a septic as a structure. But I think that definition is in terms of if you're talking about a setback for something that you're constructing in terms of, you know, locating proximity. But again, if somebody's drilling a well, we don't have a permitting process in place. So he thinks that it might bring more clarity if it wasn't defined as a structure that could cause the confusion that the town
Cause
has
it just
any.
gets, it's all handled under the state permitting process
Right.
for
Yeah.
wells.
And if your
Copy
well,
that.
for some reason, is within a certain statute of somebody's property, what they do is they call it casing it. And by casing your well, from where they're drawing the water equals the distance from the property line to where the casing ends, is the same thing as doing 75 feet away.
Oh.
That's per state.
Okay. It's definitely
I'm not gonna
beyond
tell you
our,
that, yes, I've been through that, because I
Yeah,
absolutely
well,
have.
yep.
And casing costs an extra, quite a bit of foot that you have to put on there
Yes.
in order to meet that when you're on a small confined lot.
Yeah.
But that's what they do.
okay. Beyond our scope.
So I think initially Dale has talked with the property owner that expressed the concern and pretty much directed them to New Hampshire DES to deal with their Water Resources Bureau,
And to zoning.
and to zoning.
So they can bring it up and then zoning's gonna say this is outside of our thing and then he just.
That is his recommendation. He was just, because you are the enforcing authority, he just wanted to make sure that there was no.
There's nothing more we can do. So we can't really deal with that next one until we move over here, so, anything else for town administrator report? Negative, alright, assessing,
Okay, shall I make a motion to approve land use change tax and issue a warrant for the land use change tax for map 24, lot 2?
Second.
motion in a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Alright,
I'll make a motion to deny certain disabled veterans exemption for lack of supporting documents on map 12, lot 9.
So before we do the denial, the lack of supporting, does he reach out to ask for more supporting
They already
documentation?
had, and they were not supplied.
Okay, I kinda see that, but I just didn't know, like, so basically we just say,
Yeah,
he tried before denial. we'll
The
deny it.
application deadline's April 15th, so there have been attempts made, and if they're not supplied, then technically, if there isn't a decision rendered by July 1st, it's supposed to automatically constitute denial, which gives them an appeal window. So I think if the applicant wants to come back or appeal the decision, I mean, they would have to be able to prove that.
It would just be next year, worst case, next year. Okay, so we had a motion, and I believe Adam.
I had a second.
You second that? So a motion and a second for the denial of the certain disabled veterans exemption. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Assessing, done. Appointments, done. General business. We did the board committee memberships vacancies, done. 2026 quarter two budget review. Are there any things that you directly wanna mention in here? Concerns?
I will just highlight the two areas that look concerning, one of them being the planning board is extremely over, but there are, we have to tag the expenditures when we pay the invoices to somewhere. And a lot of times they're either reimbursed through an escrow account or there's third-party engineering or legal fees, those are typically paid by the applicant. I will say with the caveat of the data center, that was a conceptual design application that brought forward a lot of legal and town planning consultation review that is unfortunately a cost borne on the town as we're moving forward toward the what seems to be the vast majority of the will of the people to put a moratorium in place. So you will see that that budget has been pretty well impacted. There will be some offsetting costs coming from escrow accounts that maybe have not been posted there. Another item that I would like to highlight is just our highway department. Obviously, we're having some equipment and service related issues, as well as the winter season that seem to just drag on with our subcontracted labor. So we don't have a lot moving forward into the upcoming winter season. So we'll hope for mild temperatures through to the start of the new year.
Where is there?
Good question for you. And I probably should know this, but just when we go down, you're looking at the, like the town attorney's fees. Like we budget 30 grand, right? And then we go down to the planning board and we only give them $500, right?
Because the legal fees are technically for any department. The legal fee.
But that's what I'm saying though. So
the legal
even
line
though it
item
looks
would-
really bad here, we're still taking from that other number.
Correct.
Okay.
So the legal line that's in the planning board, it's more or less a placeholder, like we have to have an amount appropriated to expend and assume that there's an offsetting
Yeah, no, I'm
revenue
just-
coming in from the applicant.
And for that, the third up from the bottom there, it's something escrow.
Bonds and escrows.
Offsetting revenues, so, bonds, okay.
Yeah. The 70,000.
Road bonds, okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
think about your performance bonds that we have.
It,
So if
it didn't make sense until you said it, like,
There
oh,
are-
that's what that
there are a
acronym
few
is.
subdivision projects where we actually have cash bonds, and when they get to a certain percentage of completion, then we release that money, so obviously those will be cleaned up. So bookkeeping, housekeeping.
So not overall as bad for the planning board, cause that 13 jumps up top to the other legal,
Mhm.
which there's some margin there. And then
And then the 70,000 is actually coming out of
it'll be offsetting at zero.
savings account, correct?
So in terms of discussing the New Hampshire retirement for Group 1 employees, where do you see that?
It was not a budgeted item. I do believe all of the annual performance reviews have been completed on all employees, so I do believe that there is room in the merit compensation pool to absorb the cost for a prorated adoption.
All
And
right,
I tried to give you an analysis based on the present salaries. It's going to cost about $11,000 per quarter. Just looking at, the fact that we're halfway through our third quarter, we're halfway through to our third quarter. So if it was something that you were looking to, we had talked about initially implementing it for the last quarter of the year and then trying to push it forward as soon as possible so we could feel that budgetary impact.
What was the quarter, what was the number?
About $11,000 per quarter. And that would be to roll the remaining, count them, 2, 4, 13 full-time eligible employees that are considered Group 1 into the New Hampshire retirement system. So again, this is one of those things where we're currently enrolled in a 457B government-sponsored 401k plan. The employee has the option as to whether or not they would like to roll into a New Hampshire retirement plan, but when that employee departs their position, the new person coming into that position, it would be a mandatory enrollment. So we're kind of in that phase transition period.
what are the red items off to the side?
The red items are the ones that are questionable, so, like the library staff doesn't meet, you have to meet 35 hours requirement. So as of right now, that position doesn't meet the requirement, so it's a potential future. There's another, one of the positions is highlighted that's barely meeting that requirement. And then another that would be opting out.
Okay. And merit compensation, this shows it being used, right, on the executive one, or is
No,
there?
because technically what happens is the pay increases just get absorbed into the line item for those particular positions throughout the department budgets. And this just ends up being a placeholder absorbing if anything goes over on that particular line item. We can reallocate the 56,579 that was budgeted to the various departments if you would like to see it more clean that way.
I mean, you said that there was some left in there, so
Correct.
we show it just whatever, if there's an actual number remaining, it makes.
I think I can give you the exact figure. I just didn't have it printed out for you.
And if we did anything today, the adoption doesn't happen, does it happen immediately?
It still has to be approved by the New Hampshire Retirement Board. So what we would do is, this is our election to move forward. So I think it's still going to be a process. It's gonna take at least a month for it to go through that process.
Okay.
So that's why I'm thinking, you know, here we are, we're cresting into the end of July. It's probably going to be a beginning of fourth quarter start period.
And they don't, quarterly impact is just for us financial, but
Correct.
they don't do like, they start whenever.
Whenever it's ready to roll out.
Okay. Thoughts on the Q2 budget review and anything, barriers we want to put in place, things we'd like to see, streamlining we need to do. Like she said with the highway, I mean, that line item for the highway hired plowing and equipment, that's just killing us. Which is why.
There is hope, I mean, with the, potentially being down to full-time positions in the department for several months, that should be able to absorb that overage. It's just a matter of if we have, you know, an October storm leading into winter starting that early. Can't predict for it all.
Super El Nino right now, we're looking like, who knows what that's gonna look like.
Keep your fingers crossed.
Balance for me. Just looking at fire vehicle maintenance, we're like over on that. What, is there unexpected things that came up? I
Yes.
think I heard we had a spring replacement
Yes.
on a fire truck. That's kind of like a once in the life of a fire truck type of thing, so I don't think we anticipate any more of that.
And they're hoping there'll be some money for those mobile, you know.
Radios, if there is money that needs to be expended from the budget.
I did get an actual demonstration of the problem. I get it. It is really hard to hear or answer on those mobile units. The portable units are great. The base unit is great. The mobile units are, that one particular shot. And that's not good. So I'm hoping there's money left over for that.
Is this the handheld ones? Mobile ones, or what
No, they're the
'Cause
ones
I-
that go in the vehicle. They're
oh,
situated in the vehicle. So you get the
Vehicle
base,
mounted.
you got and there was a brand in particular that Lieutenant Dolan showed me that was inferior and they've had problems with. I guess there are two of them actually. The portable ones are working great. The base unit is new, but those mobile units, they're missing a lot.
Okay. Yeah, my work went from Motorola to L3 Harris, and it's been bad. 25-year-old Motorola's worked better than
Well,
brand new
that
state-of-the-art.
exactly, that's what
L3
he was,
Harris.
yeah, he was very nice, he gave me the whole demo, and I know the difference now, yeah, and he was saying the older Motorola's work better. But it seems important.
All right, I mean, there's not much else to say for the quarter review.
So there is, $16,000 left in the merit pool after pay increases.
Okay,
So that-
so then that gets into discussion of the New Hampshire Retirement Group 1. This is something we've been kind of talking about for 3 years now, and it's been an issue on hiring and retention, specifically in the highway department. Somewhat an issue for fulfilling roles throughout the town, buildings here, not so much at the recycling center or anything like that. Police and fire are covered under their own retirement system. So as she mentioned, there are 13 eligible employees, admin staff, which goes down to the rec staff, and then our 5 highway department. And then the police department admin assistant, who is technically like an admin person, not in the actual, I don't know why, but they don't get pulled into the,
Because they're not considered police or fire.
and then she need to be promoted, I don't know. And then the library director, again, that comes down to hours. So right now, the assistant library director is not really considered due to the part-time that they work, but if they were to increase
And that would be something that the library trustees would incorporate into their operating budget configuration, like it wouldn't be coming out of our regular pool. That would be something that if we moved forward with the New Hampshire retirement, they would plan for in the next budget cycle.
any discussion for a certain timeline? Do we want to vote to start the process now? If we're,
Yeah, I do think we should start the process now and hopefully incorporate it for that fourth quarter. Begin it, is that October 1st? Because it'll take a while. to-
July, August, September, third quarter, so October
Yeah,
1st-ish.
and then it would be just the 11,000. Get that into the budget. I feel like it's something we have to do to have stability and.
I think in terms of where, I mean, we've done very well with the highway department and the people that we've got in there, but we've had people leave specifically citing it. We've had people deny applications specifically citing it.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of movement between towns, highway departments too. People are moving around a lot,
Yep.
looking for, and Terry Lindsay,
Lindsay Terry.
oh, sorry, I did that wrong, you know, I got terrible, sorry. Sorry, Lindsay, I apologize, I do know your name. Yeah, I would like to see us move forward on it and start the fourth quarter.
Anybody else discussion on it? So I have to state the words of action 7?
Yes. Be resolved.
John, you're very quiet.
No, I'm good.
You're okay?
Yep, I'm good.
All right, so first we'll do a vote. With that vote, I have to then say this fancy words. So make a motion to move Nottingham into the Group 1 state retirement. Group 1 employees into the New Hampshire state retirement. I'm sorry.
I will so move that we move. I will so move that we move the Group 1 employee group into the New Hampshire Retirement System Compensation Program,
Second.
starting in the fourth quarter.
I think we just start the process.
Okay.
We end up where we end up.
Yeah. Great, sorry.
And we got a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. So be it resolved that, how am I supposed to read that? We're going to approve the inclusion of Nottingham's officers and employees into the New Hampshire retirement system of the state of New Hampshire as provided for by RSA 100-A for the employees of the town to be effective. I said 100-A, but this thing here says 302.05.
That's just the rules for meeting
The
the
rules
building
for doing it.
requirements.
But the RSA is 100-A. Sorry for my. Okay, the retirement rule is 302-05. The statute is RSA 100-A:14, I, RSA 100-A:3, RSA 100-A:20. For anybody who's looking for some light reading.
Thank you.
All right. So I know we do like quarterly reviews, Ellen, but if anything looks like it's kind of, I know we hit budget stuff, but if anything starts awry, so just talking about the quarter stuff, looking at the highway department and talking about the road truck. Sorry, let's focus on the highway department quickly.
And I will meet with department heads tomorrow to do this budget review. We were gonna do it last Tuesday, but I was on vacation, so we're postponed to tomorrow, so I'll make sure that, you know, if there's anything that is upcoming, then I will notify you.
Thank you.
So I'm looking here, we got equipment parts and equipment, it's at like, it's got like 12,000 in it, equipment maintenance, it's like 4,200,
What's collection fees?
but
Oh, for recycling?
Was it, oh, sorry.
Yeah, yep. That's all right.
Equipment parts are just general parts that they need if they have, you know, light replacement or hoses,
Missed the HWY.
hydraulic hoses, pretty much anything generally where the equipment maintenance would be.
why doesn't the,
I don't know why it's not totaling. This is our
Okay.
antiquated accounting program, which
Okay.
frustrates me more and more every day. The highway department does not have totals. The recycling center does not have totals. They,
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
I was looking for the number. So it looks like we have some stuff, fuel. Looks like we're a little tight on, we got what, 30% left for the fuel there, so.
That's not gonna go down apparently.
No, obviously fuel costs have stayed high and we're talking about, you know, we haven't gotten into the storms. I don't wanna sound the alarm immediately now, but we just gotta try to make sure that they are,
that was one of the areas that was reduced by the budget committee, the fuel. And obviously we weren't expecting $6 a gallon for diesel. I mean, even buying it at the bulk rate.
none of our purchase, we just get like some charge above rack price, right? So, I know we had a couple of things we were looking at potentially for this year, including a new accounting for paperwork, but is that block fund, when does that get, highway grant block fund thing?
We get quarterly payments.
Okay,
So they reallocate, they're obviously fiscal year, so they reallocate the appropriation that each town gets in a year. But we're on cue to get about the same amount that we have in the years past because it's based on the lane miles in town and your population.
Should have, how much is that again? I don't remember.
160,000 thereabouts.
We're able to use that for
180.
things
It
that
is
were
supposed
not
to be
budgeted.
well, your highway block grant is supposed to be, it's money received from the state for having state roads that run through the towns to help with road maintenance. There are a lot of towns that just put that into a special fund and say, okay, this is specifically for highway. We do that generally. It's received through the general fund, and the assumption is that those monies offset the highway department operations, but it's not very specific in the town of Nottingham where it should be.
Okay, we've used it before to purchase equipment.
So you're talking about the additional highway block grant funds that we received. We received 2 additional appropriations in 23 and 24. There were extra like little surpluses of those monies that were distributed. So it's 2-part for those 2 different allocations. One was to be used specifically for roads, and it could be anything to do with roads, and that's how we acquired a few pieces of vehicle equipment and vehicles. One of which is a truck that's questioning whether it's gonna be totaled or not. And we've done some storm debris cleanup. We had a lot of trees that needed to be removed during a windstorm back in 22, I think it was. So monies were used for that. So I think the highway portion of it is pretty much depleted. We do have, I wanna say in the neighborhood of $200,000 to be used towards municipally owned bridges. But our culverts that we have issues with don't qualify as a municipally owned bridge. So if we have a municipally owned bridge that maybe needs new bridge deck or guardrail, we could use those funds towards that, or anything that could be used towards bridge maintenance.
I haven't done the research I should have, but impact fees
Yes,
presently go to fire, rec, and school.
that is correct.
I know that it's a process to get those changed, and that's for the planning board, but is it possible to move those to highway?
We can, the
Because we gave
planning
back a
board
lot
can
of money.
establish impact fees for the highway department. You have to be able to prove that there is a nexus that shows the growth
It's
of that property coming into town is creating an additional impact.
which seems to me like we've got pretty good evidence of that. Not only do we take over all the camp roads, but all the new.
And that is,
roads
I mean,
that
that
we've
is one
taken
of the
over.
questions, because there are a lot of impact fees. If they're not expended within 5 years, they're returned back
We gave
to.
we
the
were-
present
we were
property owner,
giving
not
a
even
lot
the
of
one
money
that paid
back this
them.
year. Yeah, that's what made me start to think of it again. And maybe also the police department with the capital expenditure coming up.
I have had a lot of conversations with Blair Haney, our town planner, that through SRPC on this, and I think we're pretty close to the point of having some type of a hosted session to bring in the planning board, any other elected official, town people, just to have a training session on specifically Nottingham's impact fees and how we can start better using
It
those.
seems like it may be time for a change to me.
They
anyway.
they are supposed to be reviewed I know we're kind of going off topic here, but they're supposed to be reviewed every 5 years. I believe they were last
We
in
did,
2017.
we have changed, cause we were using impact fees in order to pay for the fire station till the fire
Right,
station got
right,
paid off.
right.
So then we took the impact fees off from the fire station and we gave them to the rec department.
No, they're still,
No, there's still
Is that the way
fire.
it was with?
no, they never amended
And
them.
rec
So
is
they're
just
still
for
being
Marston.
allocated for fire, rec, and rec is specifically
School.
for Marston and the school. So it's at the planning board level,
Yeah.
like the planning board needs to update and amend those.
There you go.
Okay,
No, 'cause remember we were using the money to pay off the fire station.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
I thought we switched
Yeah.
because it was done.
And as far as rec, it's got to go specifically to
Specifically
Marston.
for Marston.
Something else. So I just, when we were giving back money this year.
Every year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's specific rules when it comes to how you can spend
Oh, yeah.
impact fees not
Oh,
being.
yeah, yeah, you
It
gotta
has
be able to
you
prove.
can't
it's-
be replacing something, it has to be something brand new.
Right.
For what it's requiring for the
Right,
town.
but we certainly need new
To be
things
used
in the highway department, and we're gonna hopefully
Right,
build.
but
a
you
new-
can't use an impact
place.
fee to replace your 10-wheeler truck.
Right.
But you can use impact fee to add a second truck to the fleet.
Right, yeah.
So I mean, there's, how that works is,
What
there's a
if
lot
paved
of things.
roads,
Well, again, that's a maintained thing, I don't think that's gonna
No.
be.
If
No,
you
I think it
add
has to be like a
positions or
capital
equipment
expenditure, right? of
to
something.
keep up with that
Yeah.
growth.
But I think got that need. I mean, it's a big town, it's a spread out town with a lot of new developments, and we're taking over those roads too.
Or the other one would even be potentially at the recycling center where we
Yeah,
found that like
yes,
our
yeah.
paper goods that we don't. But if they were like covered and they were dry
Yeah.
and they were in a different method,
Yeah.
then they might have more value, but we would have to build a roof.
Yep.
And more people bring in more trash.
Anyway, I think it's
And-
worth, you
But
know,
see,
to me, it's worth
building
looking
a
at.
roof on the, and adding on to the recycling center, that is due to the fact of the town growing and we
right.
need more space.
Right, more
If you
in-
said,
trash.
I want to replace the heating system in the, but you can't do that with that money.
Right, but if you wanna build a new recycling center,
It's all
or a new
about,
police station, or, yeah.
and that could be something to the impact changes if the police station does get approved and does pass the voters down the road, that could be something where those impact fees could be directed towards the
Well,
the payment of the
I
new
hope Blair
police
thinks
station.
it's time. We can, start looking at those impact fees, cause it is hard to turn that money back when you see how much need there is in the town and the growth.
I know the school has been actively looking at it to
Yeah.
help with their space constraints, but plan.
Yeah, there's stuff
Yeah,
right now.
then you gotta get it approved by the voters before you can actually put the money towards it. That's the problem, so. But we have many, so we'll just add that to another night of conversation.
It's a thought for the night.
Alright, so I think we've covered all of that. And, alright, I think we're down to reviewing action items from prior meetings. Special town election, what?
I'm sorry, it's something that came up, is the ZBA reached out to me this past week to ask, what was happening with the non-disclosure.
So we did get it, I'm
Did
pretty
we
sure
get a legal?
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I shared the
that?
legal opinion with you. We can certainly do that, so I mean, technically, an NDA would be, it's nothing that's going to be secretive anyways, because it would be releasable under the 91A law
But wouldn't that be after the NDA was
after it was,
published?
yes. So,
I mean, I've given it some thought, and it seems like for goodwill, for real transparency, for trust, it would be not that tough for us to do a policy.
Right.
And I can't imagine any circumstances that we should or would do an NDA, any town
that,
official.
that was part of what the opinion of the attorney was, is, you know, that the chances of us being in a position where we would have to enter one that wouldn't be transparent to the public anyways are pretty slim.
I mean, I think it's sort of a goodwill thing, and because it has happened actually somewhere before.
Do
people are
those
concerned
states
about
have
it.
the same like a 91-A type
I do not know, that's a good question.
laws? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think what did,
I don't know how open that is.
we had
for
an example, we had an example sent to us, and I think it was from Michigan?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin,
Yes.
close.
It was, in just his quick review, it was lawful under 91A. It would be secondary to RSA 91A, and any NDA executed by the town, even under such a policy, would remain subject to public disclosure. It's part of the governing framework and primary safeguard of public interest.
I mean, we can generate one in case for some crazy reason 91A got changed throughout
Or just as a good
the state
reminder too, I
legislature or
think,
something like
yeah.
that. In case they attack it that way and try to make it that they weren't reportable under 91A, because 91A is amendable.
He did offer to help draft a policy if we wanted to move in that
I
direction.
mean, if it's just a policy and we can put that in the books, I think that would be a goodwill gesture and, you know, possibly protect us from,
Keep it to one page. Thou
Yes.
shall not enter into NDAs.
Yes.
End of discussion.
just a good reminder maybe for future.
Seems.
Pretty cut and dry on that one.
Pretty good and dry. We can
Oh,
write it.
can't do it. Says right there.
Exactly.
Take us to court.
Whatever. Action items from last meeting. All right. Special town election is September 8th, the same date as the New Hampshire primary election.
And we'll be holding that here.
Here, from 7 AM to 7 PM.
Yeah.
We're
Yay.
doing that day.
There goes one of my days off.
Oh, good. Wonderful.
Well, the good thing is it's the day after Labor Day, so you'll have an extended weekend.
In the manner of speaking.
Guess so.
Yay.
It's always a good time.
Sorry, I went further down. All right, Mendel Road.
Mendel Road, we have a conflict with town council. I can't remember, did we talk about that at the last
we
meeting?
did.
Okay,
We
so,
didn't know, and then their version of town council and ours was gonna see if there was some sort of mediation or
Mediation, yeah.
something that could happen.
and I did not see anything come through on that last week while I was out, so I will follow up on that.
Give that a nice hard push, and summer's tough. We get a lot of
Yeah.
summer and vacations and stuff like that. Town Beach.
Town Beach, I did reach out to Primex. They did say that there was nothing prohibiting the town from going out to a private insurer and purchasing a policy. The question being, can the town legally do that? That is the one that has been, they couldn't answer that because again, you're talking about expending public money
Public
on
money,
a private
yeah.
property.
Did you get that email sent out?
I did,
Okay.
so.
There was another recommendation from the lawyers of Primex on some other things.
To like formally adopt a trail that would give recreational immunity, at which point we could run it by legal counsel and determine what would be prohibited or allowable on that trail. But
It was
again,
RSA 231.
yes,
I did a lot of reading on it. I got that email and I read up on it.
it
And,
was two separate, there was 231,
but everything about that.
231-A:5, and then there's a class A or a class B trail.
Yeah. But essentially, what could happen with that is you meet, and where we had an agreement for this formalizes, and it would be more of an official legal document saying per RSA, we are adopting a trail, and this is the trail, this is the layout, these are the requirements, and at the end of it, it reinstates recreational immunity, I believe, to the participants of the trail agreement. And when I read it, it sounded like our case, where you basically have a landlocked piece and whatever. It was more for like, you know, John Smith has a parcel and is trying to get to his parcel, but he didn't have the legal easement to get to it. We haven't gotten, that was the Primex version, we haven't gotten the legal interpretation if the town can implement into the RSA. If I am correct on that one.
Good.
It's groups meet, they formalize a trail, and so there's maybe an avenue there. Ellen, can we make sure that legal looks at their interpretation of RSA 231 subcolons and sections that could potentially, and with that documented layout, if that was to be accepted, that would be a more formal year after year recognized, this is the trail. And then, okay. Next meeting items, 8.3, do we have anything rolling over?
Preparing for National Night Out tonight.
The next day, yeah, and then hopefully pretty close to that 8.3, we should have, we should be knowing if the road, the update on the bridge, we're in that window where it's supposed to be August 8th, I think was the opening, so we'd be close to knowing. And I did stop by and talk to the people, I mean, they're doing some good work, they, I think they found a full intact wallet from like 1985. They had like the guy's driver's license and everything. They're finding some neat stuff in there, but they're definitely working very hard. And you know, if anybody remembers the conception, I think we have like a 40 or 60 foot bridge. It's going to be 100 feet. Like it is a very significant extension.
Oh, wow.
Be one of those things where if there's a flood, there's going to be an island of a bridge and everything around it's going to be flooded. But it'll be beautiful. Anything else for next meeting?
And at the 17th meeting, you're gonna meet with the Conservation Commission members to talk about their plans for the noise parcels that were recently acquired. They're gonna come in with some proposals. The Conservation Commission group will be in to talk about the plan for the noise parcels they just acquired behind us.
And that's all you can
Correct.
Thank you.
All right, at this time, I will open up for public comment.
Shawnee, 16 Camelot Court. Regarding the tax collector discussion you had earlier today, are there any outstanding property taxes that were due July 1st and were not paid?
Sure.
Absolutely. On the front of that tax committal warrant, there was actually a breakdown of outstanding property taxes.
You get interest on that money until they pay it, correct?
Typically.
It just says the levy of 26, levy of 25, total property tax, you are further ordered. And it talks about you are further ordered and directed to accept payments for tax liens on unpaid taxes of the years 2019, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Redeemed with interest there on 14%. And so that goes 2019 to 2024, which talks about outstanding property taxes, which is in the neighborhood of roughly $100,000 for those years. Okay, further order direct to accept payments and reduction of yield taxes for 2025, uncollected amount of $1,250. I'm not sure what the difference is there. Oh, that's a yield tax, and then there's a
Yes,
land
that'll
use
be
change tax that didn't, that's still potentially outstanding at $54,000. Was that your question?
No,
She's asking if there's unpaid property
So
taxes.
July 1st, because we're semi-annual billing, the final tax isn't due until December. We split it up into two payments, but because the tax rate isn't finalized until the fall,
Right.
technically the July 1 outstanding,
You didn't have to pay that?
you absolutely have to pay it because you'll still get penalized by interest if you don't pay it, but
I paid mine, but
Just to be clear.
it sounded like you were saying that because that's just one part of it, the rest is later.
it's only one half of the
you
tax
still
year
had to pay
obligation,
it
correct?
As of July 1st.
Yes.
Okay,
But I don't know,
Probably couldn't put a lien on it.
No,
right,
Right.
right.
not even then.
You gotta wait 3 years before you put a lien.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
but if you're looking for the outstanding balance of that July
No, I
1,
just wanted to know that, yes, we do have some, and is it concerning about the amount that you have? The number of citizens who did not pay or homeowners or whatever?
I don't have those facts figured. We'd have to get a report from the tax collector. They were due
I don't
July
think in all
1st.
my years it's ever came up that we've actually been into a point where there was enough money that was in default of not being paid, that it actually affected what we were doing for our budget. Now we had to operate our systems here.
Okay,
I mean,
So I don't ever recall that ever coming to my attention.
No, I don't remember the last time the town borrowed from a tax anticipation note because the funds weren't there. It's been decades.
Yeah, something.
excellent. Okay, wonderful. Okay, different question. So those employees that are moving to the Group 1 employee retirement plan, that's like $3,400 per year for each of those employees, and you've got 13 of them?
We do the
That's
calculation.
what the math came up. Maybe anybody else can do the math?
hold on.
Isn't it?
So-
I had the last, where is this stuff? I don't know.
It's 11,000 something.
11,000 per quarter, that's 44,000 divided by 13 people is about $3,400.
Correct. If you averaged it out, yes.
Okay, so the only people who are not moving to that category are your library employees and recycle center employees?
Because they don't meet the 35-hour minimum. Yep. So it's only full-time eligible being that 35 hours.
Got that. Okay.
Police and fire are already enrolled because they're Group
Right.
2 of New Hampshire retirement.
Okay, cool. So if you start at the fourth quarter, or whenever you're gonna start it, it carries over to 2027.
Right.
So how does that affect the default budget for 2027?
It will be a contractual obligation that automatically gets added into the default budget amount.
Oh, interesting, okay. Other stuff.
That's if the town was in a default budget. But when we calculate out what the default
You
budget will be,
calculate,
that
yes.
is a contractual
So
obligation,
it
correct?
gets carried into it.
Yes.
Okay. So then that, okay, never mind, I'll figure that one out. So thanks for reaching out to the town's insurance carrier. So did the town insurance carrier give you the name of the excess carrier that they work with?
They
Or
do
just-
not, we would have to find our own private insurance
So they
carrier
don't
to
have
purchase a policy. We'd have to purchase a completely separate private policy.
Right, but they did not give you any insurance companies who they know do that kind of work?
No.
Okay. Okay,
Because again, before we pursue that avenue, we have to determine whether or not we legally can purchase a
Okay.
policy on a private parcel.
so have you reached out to your lawyer
No.
yet?
No, I have not. I needed to present it to the select board first and let
Okay.
them know, and I was on vacation last week.
I guess that's it for me, thank you.
Because you always come up.
Robin Marshall, 189 Oceanbrook Road. So when you do contact the lawyer, we both work for insurance, so I was also thinking, so if someone owns a parcel of land that goes up to a landlocked area, and they're worried about someone getting hurt on that land, the town beach portion is this much of the year. So if someone should, like they seem to say, trespass all the time, I would think that it would be in their best interest to possibly have insurance that covers them year-round for any trespassing on that property. And I don't know, while you reach out to the lawyer, if they do purchase insurance. It's 12 months usually of insurance that you cover, it's the annual. Sometimes it's 6 months, depending on the insurance company. Could you also ask if the private homeowner were to purchase their own insurance, could the town reimburse for the time, month that's left of the year, whatever's left for that season, since you have to reach out anyway? Because I still sit and brainstorm every day.
That again is that question about the legality of using
Yeah, so while you're reaching
funds
out.
for private, yeah, that's come up. It's not a bad idea, but it's,
Well, no,
is it
she's
legal,
asking, include that in your conversation with your
Oh, yep, that's
as well,
what we're waiting for, right?
to ask. And I really, like, I know some of the concerns that the homeowner had was there's gonna be an accident, and I drove down Priest Road, and I know they've asked, go 25 miles an hour, that's the speed limit, and I did see police out there, so I know they're
Yeah, they've been
enforcing
good.
it. And the road's really nice, so the highway department did a great job. As I'm going down that road, and it's 25 miles an hour, I feel like I'm going very fast still. Sometimes I find myself going 20. So I'm thinking, when I'm going on that road to the beach, the most you can kind of go is 15 miles an hour. So I know that they said there was, in the 60-year history, one accident on that road. I don't, that's what I've heard. I don't know if it's really true. But I just think I see a lot of exaggeration, like going from 1 million to 10 million, and there's possibility that there could be an accident. There's not blind entries. You see when a car is coming, and you pull over. Whoever can pull over first will pull over. Courtesy, just like going in the recycling center. Whoever pulls in the gate first just pulls over. So I just don't know. I just missed the beach. So. I'm just hoping that there'll be some sort of compromise.
We
Spent a
are,
lot of time in the library and air conditioning to get me through the year.
we are trying every avenue that we have to keep moving forward.
It's just, you're not going fast enough.
We are at the speed of government. Can only do things every 2 weeks. So, see you in August. Are there any other public comments for tonight?
It's a non-public.
We are. Seeing if there's no additional public comment, I will look for a motion to move into non-public. Once we finish with non-public discussion, we will exit the meeting, and then we will end the meeting with no further business taking place in that period of time. Thank you for tuning in and listening. Have a good evening, Nottingham.
Ellen, what letters are tonight?
On the backside.
CNL.
See you now. I'd like to make a motion to move the non-public per RSA 91A:3, C and L.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call vote.
I, Adam Ryan.
I, Charlotte Fife.
I'm at Sherlin.
Hi, John Moran.
Aye, Steve Welch.
Thank you very much.